going place called Just Shades.
We sell nothing but land at discount.
Celtics here in Boston.
It's half-court offense against half-court offense.
Bird misses, Kareem clears. Lakers proved a lot in winning the last game when they had a big lead and the Celtics closed it down several times. Magic goes up and gets the big basket for the Lakers, who are up now by 9. Wedman is in the game for his outside shooting. Parrish goes up against Kareem and hits, and it's down to 7, but another minute has ticked off.
The Lakers will bring it up, use as much time as possible before getting it into Kareem.
Into James Worthy. Kareem with a long sky hook. Ainge comes down with it. Bird for 3. Not that time. And a foul goes the other way against the Celtics. McHale reacting from the Boston bench. Casey Jones, who was ejected after receiving 2 quick technicals the other night. And now Danny Ainge has 5 personal fouls, Tommy.
That's not to be unexpected, Dick, when they have to play an aggressive game to get back in it. And you're tired. You reach and you grab instead of playing with your feet.
Scott hits the first free throw. 100-92, L.A. What a smart game these Lakers have played coming back to the Lions' den at Boston Garden.
They were ready. You could tell it on the plane.
Leading scorers, Worthy 25, Kareem 23. McHale fouled out with 32 and Larry Bird 26. Just numbers right now. Danny Ainge misses. And the Celtics have not been able to hit from outside. Ainge 3 for 15 outside. 101-92. Magic sees an opening, and the Lakers can smell it right now, and their bench is up. And the Celtics know that the numbers don't lie. Under 3 minutes to play. Ainge feeding Bird, who comes back. 9-point game, 2:48, and Pat Riley calls a smart timeout.
The last couple of minutes, but the Lakers have executed to perfection, Dick.
Kareem, 23 points, has been a kingpin in all 3 Laker wins, and once again today. The Celtics know they have 2:45 remaining. Bird picking up Magic. Kareem with 8 seconds on the shot clock. A desperation defense for the Celtics now. Kareem hits a big sky hook, and the crowd grows quieter.
He's going to be able to play one-on-one, too, with everybody else of the Celtics going out challenging the other players.
Wedman fires up a 3-pointer. Scott Wedman has been doing that throughout the series, and it's now 105-97. Wind down to 8 points. Loose ball, Lakers. And Magic says, let's settle down. He has a triple-double again. And Kareem comes back again. And
defense broke down, Dick.
And on the turnover, the Lakers will have it again. And with less than 2 minutes to go, barring some real strange happenings, the Lakers are finally going to do it against these Celtics.
This man, Magic Johnson, played this season with a mission for the Lakers, and it's about to pay off. The smile will be back on his face next year.
Minute and 40 to go. 6 on the shot clock. Magic is short. Parrish the rebound. Loop it to Ainge. It's a 10-point Laker lead. They're all trying for 3-point shots. Bird misses. And Cooper blocks out Wedman. Laker ball. Nothing could be sweeter for Pat Riley and the Lakers to win it here. That's for sure. Magic is hemmed in. Goes around everyone. .107-97, and it's as if no one is at Boston Garden right now. That's how quiet it is.
That's got to be the ultimate thrill for the Lakers.
Kareem hits again with a skyhook. The Lakers are less than a minute away. Wedman misses. The Lakers could win their third title, Tommy, in 6 years. They have reached the finals in 5 of those 6 years. Not a dynasty, but it's the closest since the Celtics won 11 of 13.
Unusual sight. Celtics losing a championship at home. Never happened before.
46 seconds to go. Hasty won it last year. Riley trying for 2 world championships. It's been an old man and a young man. Kareem and Magic Johnson.
You have to have some character to win it on the road.
Magic Johnson. Been with the Lakers 6 years. He's been healthy 5 of them. And every year he's been healthy, Magic Johnson has taken the Lakers to the NBA Finals. And here they salute the great fans of the Boston Celtics.
And half of them are applauding their team, and I think the other half that are applauding also mean to applaud the Lakers. They like good basketball here in Boston.
How do you think Magic Johnson feels right now, Tommy, after last year?
Well, we kept talking about redemption. He ought to be saved forever.
And Kareem at 38. Steal by Byron Scott with 28 seconds to go. And misses a stop. Lakers are all standing. Ames keeps trucking. And Dennis Johnson is fouled. 5 times in the last 6 years. Magic Johnson, when he joined the Lakers, it turned him around.
You know, when you win it on the road, there's not too much applause coming your way, but you sure appreciate those guys on the bench.
And now the crowd begins to applaud the Lakers, and they're also applauding the Boston Celtics. Kareem is fouled out, 29 points and 7 rebounds. And Magic Johnson, who finds redemption, Tommy, as you say, a year later. That Larry Bird's going out of the ball game. Only he knows how much he's been hurt and how it's affected him.
And you know the first thing will be out of his mouth in the locker room to the press? I played terrible. No alibi.
Never use the injuries as an excuse. The Lakers are winning it. 3 in 6 years. L.A. comes to Boston and wins the world title. And Red Auerbach and Alan Cohen walk off.
Yeah, it feels good.
They finally snapped the jinx. And the Lakers won it exactly where they wanted to win this world title, underneath the banners of the Boston Garden, where the Celtics, for only the second time in 17 World Championship Series play, come up second best. The final score, the Lakers 111, Boston 100. And we'll be back with all the hoopla from Boston Garden in just a moment.
So the spoils, Dr. Jerry Buss, who has put this franchise together, and the NBA Commissioner David Stern with the Lawrence O'Brien Trophy.
Jerry, Coach Riley, Kareem, congratulations to the Lakers, the city of Los Angeles, and all your fans. Once again, the Celtics and the Lakers treated the world to a battle between the two best basketball teams. Here's your trophy. You earned it. You deserve it. Enjoy it.
Hey, look at this! What?
Oh.
This has removed the most odious sentence in the English language. It can never again be said that the Lakers have never beaten the Celtics.
Coach Riley,
Oh, God.
what was the big difference this year from a year ago?
Brent, I just think that, you know, the rebounding was much improved. Kareem, our captain, and Magic, our two leaders, led us in a very strong move. And we have a little bit of a saying that somewhere along the way, at some time, we're going to have to plant our feet, stand firm, and make a point. And we made the point. We took that parquet floor here, and all the skeletons are cleaned out of our cot. Yes!
Kareem, what were you thinking 13 days ago when it was a blowout the other way and people wondered if you were not too old to come back?
I just thought it was going to be a long way back. We wanted to just get back into it and so that we could play good basketball. We really disappointed ourselves that first day, but after that, we turned it around completely.
Kareem, you were the unanimous winner of the Sport Magazine Most Valuable Player. I don't think you've ever been MVP in a championship series, have you?
Yeah, I was in 1971, but everybody's forgotten that.
This one has to feel, and what I want to know is, will you play for sure next year? Any thoughts of retirement now that you've won another championship?
Of course not. I'll be there next year, and we'll be defending it. It'd be nice to wear the crown my last year.
Kareem, congratulations. Marvelous performance. And we will continue from the Lakers' victorious locker room as the Los Angeles Lakers have come to Boston and done it.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free, but the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man...
Redemption for one Magic Johnson. Now you can tell us just how much it bothered you a year ago when they said you choked in the championship series.
Well, it bothered me. You know, anytime you make mistakes to probably lose the championship, then it bothers you, you know, no question about it.
You came out here early today ahead of all your teammates, and you were out taking jump shots, set shots, the look of determination on your face.
No question about it. You know, it's like we have our chance. It's a long year last year to wait for this moment right now. And so I was trying to get ready, even though my jumper didn't go like I wanted to, but I went inside.
What do you think the differences were this time around for this team, Magic?
We didn't make the mistakes. They came back, but we held them off every time. And last year, like when we had the lead and they came back, we made mistakes just to give them the game. But this time, you see, we made the plays to carry the games out.
Magic, congratulations.
Thank you.
James Worthy, you were one of the standouts in this particular series. I thought you really took charge when they needed a hoop.
Hey, we didn't want to play a seventh game. We wanted to end it up here. We had the momentum coming off from the last win in Los Angeles, and we didn't want to put ourselves in the same situation we were in last year. We know it would have been tough, the seventh game, so we came out with a lot of intensity in the second half, and I think that what carried us over. They made a strong comeback, but we were able to sustain our defense and just keep the offense going, and thank God we got one.
All right, James. Right now, let's cut away to the other side of the story, and here's Pat O'Brien with K.C. Jones, the Celtic coach. Pat?
All right, Brent, thank you. It's a little quieter over here in KC. I know this is the interview you didn't want to do. What happened?
Oh, I guess the same thing that that team that's been playing against us all along is the packet-in defense against our big guys, and we just did not hit the outside shots tonight. And they gave us the shots that we wanted, you know, with Dennis and Danny, but it didn't happen. Fatigue was not really a factor. But we did miss a lot of shots from outside. Also, Kupchak and Rambis, they did a super job of coming in there and hitting boards and getting the loose balls and the offensive rebounds. And meanwhile, Kareem is a man 38 years old that's playing like he's 25. So they just made a great effort, and their shots went in. But Worthy was a guy that kept them intact and kept them going with his outside scoring and also going inside.
Coach, how badly injured is Larry Bird? Is there an excuse there?
Oh, that's no excuse, no. If he's out there in uniform and he's playing, then then that comes with the territory. And that's
What about the 2-3-2 thing, quickly?
2-3-2, there's one of the biggest negatives about repeating along with other things, but I don't like that format. You spend a week and a half in another city for 3 games, but that's part of the game, so that's not an excuse either. They play great, and they're a better team, and they're the champions.
All right, Casey, thanks for joining us. Great season. Sorry about today. And Brent Musburger will be back with more from the Lakers locker room and their celebration after this. Stay with us.
4'9", you know who, and she does everything the big boys do. Pours it on, snails them cold, digs down deep and goes for gold. Yeah, golden flakes of toasted wheat, good and crunchy, not too sweet. Wheaties, Wheaties, that's your style. Now flash, 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 that winning smile.
Watch out, big boys.
The 1985 Toyota workforce is going to have you whistling while you work. Introducing the dependable cargo van from Toyota, the newest workhorse of the workforce, with more room than any small van. Together with a tough Toyota 1-ton and Toyota's lowest priced work truck, the Standard Bed, this workforce will have you whistling while you work.
Toyota. Technology is taking over the world. You can keep up with it, or you're going to be left behind. That's why I joined the Army.
From microchip circuitry to laser technology, the world's largest school for high-tech skills is the Army.
Bravo, go active. Bravo, locked, 05.
Be all that you can be.
I don't intend to get left behind.
Find your future in the Army.
So many men deserve credit for this Laker triumph. The general manager, Bill Sharman, will help put this great team together. The staff of assistant coaches will help Pat Riley. And then there's Mitch Kupchak, who many thought was finished with that knee surgery, but you came back and turned in some quality minutes in this series.
Well, Boston's big, and I might not be as quick as I once was or run the court as well, but I'm still 6'10", 240.
Tell him what I told you.
Coach Burker told me, he thinks it was this year, but it was 2 years ago. He said, one of these days you're going to make a big contribution. This is when I wasn't playing last year, so hang in, Mitch.
Myron Scott, it had been a tough championship for you, but this afternoon you seemed to have the touch. You got your confidence back when you needed it.
Yeah, that's true. It was a big game for us, and, you know, first half I didn't really, wasn't really into it. You know, third quarter, everybody just told me to keep shooting. And I came out firing, you know, hit about 4 out of 5, and the confidence got back, and the team started rolling.
All right, if anybody typifies the spirit of the difference, it's this man right here, Kurt Rambis. Kurt, there didn't seem to be a way that you were going to lose. You guys had fire in your eyes today.
No doubt about it. Everybody came out here. As soon as he left the locker room, everybody knew that we were going to win the game today, and we were just going to win it on hustle, and that's what you saw out there today.
Was it more important to win this Game 6 and not go to a Game 7 here in the Boston Garden? What do the players say about that?
Oh, no doubt about it. We definitely wanted to end it in this game. I mean, if we went to Game 7, it would have been anybody's ball game, and they'd been here on the home court. They'd have had the advantage, so we just wanted to close it out today.
All right, gentlemen, congratulations. A world championship for the Los Angeles Lakers. And Dr. Jerry Buss finally said, we have beaten the Celtics. Now, let's go upstairs. Here's Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn.
On the parquet floor.
Thank you very much, Brandon. It's awfully quiet up here at Boston Garden. Another season is over. And, Tommy, I'd like to know your final thoughts of this series.
Well, Dick, I think the Lakers had the emotion, the bodies to get the job done. They made fantastic adjustments. They had to withstand a blowout situation and really show great strength coming back and winning it in 6 games in front of the Celtic fans. That really is a tough job. So they deserve everything they've accomplished.
You know, as I've watched this championship series, Tommy, and of course last year as well, which Boston won, I marvel at the great players and the great game that the NBA is. You know, a few years ago it was the whipping boy for every problem that professional sports has. They've handled all of those things head on and have gone onward and upward. And now you look at the record attendance, you look at the great viewing audience that we've had for the season and the championship series, and now Patrick Ewing leads a horde of great players coming out next year who will be playing in the NBA, and I think professional basketball is really getting on another plateau, and of course we're all proud to be part of it. And this was an example of NBA basketball at its best today when the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Boston Celtics, and every one of those games was a grueling battle. So So on behalf of my partner Tom Heinsohn, Brent Musburger, and Pat O'Brien, I would like to take time to thank all of our crew in both Los Angeles and Boston who made covering this series so enjoyable. Thanks to all of our halftime guests, our executive producer, Ted Shaker, producer Mike Burks, and director Sandy Grossman. Special thanks to both teams, their players, and coaches. It has truly been a championship series.
Champagne is flowing. They are the world champions. Their cups runneth over. Good evening. The victory could not have been sweeter, and Andy's here with a brief look.
You know, the Lakers have been carrying the burden of the Boston jinx on their shoulders for all year long. They have finally ridded themselves of it. As Pat Riley said in the locker room when the game was over, the Lakers have cleaned out all the skeletons from their closet. They have beaten the Boston Celtics. Today at legendary Boston Garden, Lakers win 11, Celtics 100. Lakers win the NBA Championship Series 4-2. They end a year of frustration by dethroning the Celtics and winning their own third world title in 6 years. They did it behind an MVP performance by the captain, 38-year-old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It's wonderful to get over this hump. You know, it's the one hump I'd never gotten over, you know, beating Boston, and we did it up here. It's wonderful.
We thought today we would get by this one. Maybe we took them too lightly. They just played better than we anticipated, and we played poorly from the beginning to the end.
This is a red Arbeck cigar, and I've seen him with them, so I figured, you know, we win a championship. Why can't I have one in my mouth?
You want to know how sweet it is?
How much of a difference did the captain make in the 4 Laker wins? He averaged 30 points. At one point today, he was 7 of 7 from the field. In games 5 and 6, when the Celtics were trying to rally back into the lead, he was unstoppable. His 4th world championship, 1 with the Milwaukee Bucks, 3 now with the Lakers, and this is the 2nd time in his illustrious career that he's been named MVP in the NBA's championship series. Now here's the tradition that the Lakers were battling. The Celtics had never lost a final series at the Boston Garden. They had lost just once in the final series in their entire history. That was back in 1958. They were trying to become the first team in the NBA to repeat as champion since 1969. They were only the 3rd team to make it back to the championship round a year after they won the championship. So they just did not have the people this year to compete with the Lakers. As Pat Riley said, in his mind, he thought for the last 4 years the Lakers had the best team in basketball, and now they've got 2 championships to prove it.
They did. And they did it in 6, Andy.
How about it? That's a prediction, and yours came true. Very good.
The Lakers-Celtic game began at 10 this morning, a little early for most fans to begin bending an elbow. But the Laker lovers at One West Los Angeles watering hole must have been operating on Eastern Daylight Time. They began toasting the Lakers even before the tip-off, and they continued long after the final buzzer that ended the Boston quest for 2 championships in a row. The Lakers themselves will have to wait a little while before they celebrate right here in Los Angeles. You see, tomorrow they'll be playing a little one-on-one with President Reagan and Nancy at the White House. And the team will arrive back in Los Angeles tomorrow evening, and a big celebration is scheduled for downtown Los Angeles on Tuesday morning. Be there. Bill.
All right, there is other news tonight, and it is not good, unfortunately. Another one of the Frustacy septuplets lost her battle for life today.
Well, congratulations for solving the Boston jinx and winning their 3rd world championship in 6 years. The Laker challenge today was to be the first team to beat the Celtics for the championship at Boston Garden. They jumped to the task immediately. Magic Johnson intercepted Kevin McHale's pass, gave it to Worthy, Lakers by 7. Kareem on the bench with early foul trouble. Here came the Celtics, and Larry Bird He scored 28, but the guy was struggling all game and series. The game tied at least 20 times, 19 times in the first half, 13 times in the second quarter, tied at 55 at halftime, and then the Lakers blew it apart. Magic to Worthy, Lakers by 6, where they finished with 26. Then Byron Scott for the Lakers, silent for most of the series. He gave him an 8-point lead. Scott finished with 14, and it was starting to slip away. Then the captain goes right around the Chief. Lakers led by 12, Kareem scoring 29 and an MVP performance. Celtics refused to fold at home. Here's a rare sight. Danny Ainge made the basket. Celtics were within 6, but the Boston backcourt didn't do enough of that today. Not a rarity here. Kevin McHale inside scored 32. He brought the Celtics to within 4 of the fourth quarter, then fouled out, and then Rambis went inside, gave the Lakers a 10-point lead. Boston would never get closer than 6 the rest of the game. They deny the Celtics a chance to repeat. 111-100 the score today. Lakers win the series 4-2. Now, can you imagine what it was like inside the Laker locker room? Stu Nahan was in there with him. He's going to tell us what it was like at the Boston Garden.
It took him a year to gain revenge for what happened here last year, but today the Lakers are the NBA champions of the world, and it happened in Boston.
They talk about Boston fans, but our fans, I got to give them a lot of credit for doing what they did, standing up when we were warming up, yelling at every time out, standing ovation. So everybody, it was just a team and a crowd, everybody.
No, I'm not tired. I was tired about 4 minutes left in the game, but I got all kind of energy now.
This is a good victory, Stu, especially since we won it over a team, a franchise that we haven't beat in 8 years or 8 tries in the championship. Of all the championships that I've won with this team, this is the sweetest.
I think everybody on the team felt in their minds, in the back of their minds, that they wanted to get to that championship, but even sweeter to play the Celtics and win it.
We fought through a lot of things. People counted us out early. I mean, they were down on us. They said if we got here against the Celtics, that we just couldn't beat them. There was no way, and we proved them wrong.
Was it something special to win this one as opposed to the previous ones that you won?
Yeah, it was. It was special just because of our recent history. 83, we were injured. Last year, we fiddled it away, and we hung in there. We stayed tough. We did everything we had to do, and then we got in this series. We fell on our faces the first game, but we stuck with it.
Winning the World's Championship is always a fantastic thrill, but when you've tried to do something 15 times and you've failed, it goes without asking how sweet the 16th is.
We won it, and we won it for you, and all the fans in LA, you have been super. We saw we couldn't win it Friday night, but we're going to come home and we're going to have a party. I want a big parade.
When the Celtics win, we take the credit. When we lose, we give them the credit. I mean, they beat us, and I'm not no sour grapes here. I just congratulate the Lakers.
The Lakers waited a year for this one, and they came into the Boston Garden, and they won too. And that's why they're the NBA champions of the world. Stu Nahan, Sports 4, Boston.
All right, while the Lakers were winning, the Angels.
The Lakers are on top of the world tonight after a 4th and final win over the Boston Celtics. Good evening. It took 6 games and more than a few anxious moments. But tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers are the NBA champions, and it's only fitting that the champions celebrate. Jim Hill is in Boston with that story.
The atmosphere was somewhat more subdued than you might expect at tonight's private gathering. The Lakers, surrounded by friends and family, watched a replay of this afternoon's victory while quietly savoring their 3rd NBA title in the last 6 years and first championship victory ever over the Celtics.
All the family members, bring it in. Let's go.
Tonight's party, just the beginning of a big 2-day celebration that continues tomorrow in Washington, D.C., meeting President Reagan. Then it culminates on the steps of City Hall Tuesday with a victory parade. Jim Hill, Channel 2 News, with the world champion Lakers in Boston.
And the celebration here in Los Angeles starts tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. That's when the Lakers arrive at LAX. Of course, Jim Hill will have all the highlights of today's game on the Sunday Sports Final right after this newscast.
First game, but we stuck with it.
We won it, and we won it for you, and all the fans in LA, you have been super.
It's here tonight. You'll see.
But we're going to come home and we're going to have a party.
And the celebration began even before the clock ran out on the Celtics. Champagne corks popped despite the early hour, and the party coach Pat Riley had asked for will be in full swing by the time the team arrives back in Los Angeles tomorrow night. But first, the team will be honored guests of President and Mrs. Reagan at the White House, and then the team is scheduled to arrive back here in Los Angeles tomorrow evening, and on Tuesday morning they'll be honored with a massive parade through downtown Los Angeles. Bill.
All right. There is other news tonight. An explosion.
The title is back. This afternoon in the Boston Garden, the Los Angeles Lakers defeated the defending world champion Boston Celtics to wrap up the NBA World Championship Series 4-2. You stay with us. We'll have all the highlights, post-game interviews, and a lot more coming up in just a couple of moments. I'm Jim Hill, and this is the Sunday Sports Final. It's one of the great stories in all of professional sports. The Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers. 8 times in the past, these two teams have battled it out for the NBA World Championship, and all 8 times prior to this one, the Lakers have come out second best. However, this afternoon, the Lakers added a new chapter to that great rivalry.
Maybe that's what the ultimate test was for us, to find out if we really had, after Wednesday, with a 3-2 lead, to come back to Boston to see what we're really all about.
Like two heavyweight fighters, both teams exchanged shots throughout the first half. The Lakers' biggest lead was 7, but they could never shake loose of the Celtics. Kevin McHale was the dominant force in the middle, as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was plagued by first-half foul trouble. Boston gets in front by 2, as Danny Ainge finds Larry Bird all alone underneath. But at the other end, James Worthy goes outside to hit the jumper, and at halftime, the Lakers and Celtics were tied.
What was the one thing that you put your finger on and turned it around for you?
Our aggressiveness and our banging. Our attitude changed. We didn't let them get nothing easy anymore. We came out and whatever they was going to get, we were going to make them work for it, and I thought we did that.
We wanted to get back here, and we really felt if we got them back here in Boston, we could beat them.
So at halftime, the game was tied at 55-all, and the slow-paced contest really favored the Celtics. But in the second half, behind the inspired play of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, the Lakers held off every Boston Celtic challenge and played like champions themselves.
We had to get a tough attitude and realize that, you know, Boston is a talented team. They're smart and they're tough. And we had to match that. And if we matched that, I think once we did match it, the best team showed who it was, and it was us.
The Lakers exploded out of the gate at the start of the third quarter. With Kareem taking charge of the middle, the Lakers finally begin to pull away. And for the 6th consecutive game, Bird has trouble finding his outside jump shot, and on a rare Laker fast break, it's Magic with a beautiful pass to Worthy for the flying slam. The Lakers' third quarter lead grew to as much as 12 points. Kurt Rambis with one of his 10 rebounds, tipping in an Abdul-Jabbar miss. The Lakers settled for a 9-point third quarter lead, but suffered a brief scare when Michael Cooper was carried off the floor with what appeared to be a serious knee injury. But the indestructible Cooper was soon to come back, making Bird's life miserable. The Celtics make a run at the Lakers, but Kareem cuts that short with another jam. Boston suffers another setback when McHale fouls out after scoring 32 points and hauling in 16 rebounds. Unable to hit from the outside, Bird sneaks inside for the rebound and follow, and the Celtics have closed the lead to just 5. But Magic splits the Boston defense for a pretty lay-in. And Kareem adds 3 big shots in the final 3 minutes to put the finishing touches on a remarkable Laker 111-100 victory over the Celtics, giving Los Angeles the World Championship. Talk a little bit, Kareem, about what the MVP award means to you.
For me, it's like a personal treasure. It showed what I could do over a long period of time. It's
15 seasons since I won it the last time. So that's quite a stretch of time, and be nice to have those. They can balance each other out there.
We beat a team that's part of history. They've got more championships than anybody in the league. It's history for the Lakers because the Lakers are 0-8 against the Celtics. And I'm just glad to be a part of that history-making team that beat the Celtics for the first time in a 7-game series.
Coach, does it make it any sweeter defeating the Celtics here at home where you lost it last year?
Goddamn parquet floor. On our championship rings, we're going to have a parquet floor with a diamond in the middle of it.
You get choked up sometimes. You know, you work so hard to get back to this point, and it's just hard to describe. But, you know, I want to just thank the people in L.A., the fans, for cheering for Jim. Would you do that for us? And it's great. So I'm going to have a good time now. I'm going to go back and really let loose.
Jim, this is for you. That's right.
I guess it's time to party now.
Thank you, L.A. It's time to get down.
It finally happened, and appropriately enough, under the 15 NBA World Championship banners and on the famous parquet floor here at the Boston Garden, the Los Angeles Lakers winning their 4th NBA championship. But this one had to be the sweetest. And I'll be back with more of the Sunday Sports Final in just a moment.
Christmas came a little early for the Lakers this year, June to be exact, because after 8 tries, they finally got the one thing they wanted more than anything, a win over the Celtics in the NBA Finals. Good evening, everybody. For the first time in NBA history, the Lakers have defeated the Boston Celtics for the NBA crown. It's the Lakers' 3rd title in the last 6 years, and much of the credit for this one has to go to Lakers center Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was named the series MVP. He scored 29 today to lead the Lakers to a 111-100 win and a 4-2 series victory. For today, Boston had never lost a championship series at home, but hanging in the Garden will be a painful reminder of the team that broke that streak. Kevin McHale, again the big gun for the Celts. Nice pass by Parrish. McHale moving around James Worthy, finished with 32 points. One of the big keys for the Lakers throughout this series has been the play of Mitch Kupchak. Mitch will miss the shot. He'll follow it, watch him hustle, dive for the ball, keep it alive, and bat it over to Byron Scott. His play, one of the big reasons the score was tied at the end of the first half. Now we'll move to the second half, and the Lakers started very fast. Magic Johnson down to Kareem, who put a good move on Robert Parrish baseline and then jam it home. Lakers coming on a run once again. Magic threads the needle to James Worthy for the jam. Lakers by 12, but the Celts came back. Larry Bird did most of the damage. He faked Worthy, moves inside on Magic and Kareem. They were within 4, but the Celts could not hit from the outside. That was a problem for them today. Meantime, the Lakers went to the captain, and Kareem would not be denied. In your face, Robert Parrish, and Red Auerbach's face told the Celts story. Then Magic put on a show, moving down the middle, off balance. He's living right. He got the bounce, and the Lakers were on their way. Final minutes, Kareem the man once again. He finished with 29 points, and that pretty much finished the Celts. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has waited a long time to celebrate at the Boston Garden. As he was being mobbed by his teammates, he told the world the Lakers are indeed #1. Now, remembering last year's collapse made this year's victory much sweeter for the Lakers. The club has finally proved to itself that it is worthy of the title, and afterwards they savored that moment. Champagne baths for anyone that was willing, and a lot of hooting and hollering going on in the locker room. Stu Nahan was there, and he talked with players from both clubs.
Were you waiting? Was it something special to win this one as opposed to the previous ones that you won?
Yeah, it was. It was special just because of our recent history. 83, we were injured. Last year, we fiddled it away, and we hung in there. We stayed tough. We did everything we had to do, and then we got in this series. We fell on our faces the first game, but we stuck with it.
They made the big plays. I give them credit, you know. I mean, when the Celtics win, we take the credit. When we lose, we give them the credit. I mean, they beat us, and I'm not no sour grapes here. I just congratulate the Lakers.
Hey, I love it. I tell you, you know, it's the greatest. What can I say? Everybody just partied back home in L.A. You know, the fans were great. I tell you, they talk about Boston fans, but our fans, I got to give them a lot of credit for doing what they did, standing up when we were warming up, yelling at every time out, standing ovation. So everybody, it was just a team and a crowd, everybody.
You want to know how sweet it is?
Yeah, how sweet is it?
A whole year.
Yeah.
A whole year, Stu, to get back to this position, and we finally got it. And I mean, this is it. This is it. Mike Simone, Daddy loves you.
We thought today we would get by this one. Maybe we took them too lightly. They just played better than we anticipated, and we played poorly from the beginning to the end.
This is a Red Auerbach cigar.
And they were down on us. They said if we got here against the Celtics, that we just couldn't beat them. There was no way, and we proved them wrong.
You seem calm right now. What's it like in here?
Look, you can see it. That's what it's doing in there.
We worked so hard this year. Nobody knows how hard we worked in practice. And it was just tough getting back. And we got back and we sustained our confidence and everything and just won the thing.
We, can walk around with our heads very high because, we're beat by the better team. They come here instead of using 2 games to beat us, they beat us in 1. And they're the world champions.
I do want to say one thing to all my friends in Los Angeles, and I'm talking about Steve and Holly and Tom and Claire and Mom and Dad, everybody. We won it, and we won it for you, and all the fans in LAU have been super. We saw we couldn't win it Friday night, but we're going to come home and we're going to have a party. I want a big parade.
Red Auerbach used to light up a cigar.
They are rearranging the trophy case at the Basketball Hall of Fame. The captain is coming. The story of the 1985 NBA Championship Series will be the performance of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He's got a shot that nobody can stop, and he's a foot taller than everybody, so it's a thing that, you really can't do much about because you can't block his shot. If he's got it going, you might as well forget it.
With his team's pride on the line, the Lakers captain took another giant step towards Springfield, Massachusetts.
When he's ready to play and he wants it, he'll go to work. And you watch out.
Game 2, Boston Garden. Kareem scores 30 points, and the Lakers square the series at a game apiece. Game 3, the Forum. Kareem scores 26. Lakers take the series lead. In the process, he breaks Jerry West's all-time playoff scoring record. Game 5, the Forum. Kareem scores 36, but his last 6 crush the Celtics rally. Game 6, Boston Garden. Again, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar single-handedly puts the game out of Boston's reach.
It's wonderful to get over this hump. It's the one hump I'd never gotten over, beating Boston, and we did it up here. It's wonderful.
It's his 4th World Championship and his 2nd MVP award, simply proving that the Kareem always rises to the top. Andy Luscano, Sports 4, Burbank.
Kareem and the Lakers will meet with the president at the...
Of course, the big sports news is the Lakers winning the NBA championship, finishing the Celtics in 6 games with the 111-100 finale today at the Boston Garden. Ted Dawson was at the game.
Good evening and welcome to the famed old Boston Garden, a place where the Boston Celtics had never lost a final championship basketball game. Never, that is, until this afternoon. Despite all these championship flags hanging above the old floor, showing the dominance of the Celtic team of years gone by, it was the Lakers who were dominant this afternoon. First quarter, and neither team could dominate. Great steal here by Magic to put the Lakers up by 7. But they couldn't stop Kevin McHale inside, and the Laker lead was just 1 at the quarter. In the second quarter, Kareem gets in foul trouble and has to sit out more than 7 minutes. But with shots like this from Magic Johnson, the Lakers stayed close and were tied 55-all at the half.
We felt, very confident at halftime, Ted, being tied 55 up.
Third quarter, and the Lakers turned it on. Magic with a great pass to Worthy. It's 69-63. And the Lakers were tough inside. Kurt Rambis, who hit 4 of 5, tips it in, and the Lakers lead by 10.
And we knew today that we just had to come out and initiate things right from the beginning and just push. No matter what happens, we had to keep playing harder and harder and harder in order to win this ball game.
Boston was having nothing but problems. Their shots were missing. Their inside game, non-existent.
They played the smarter game. They jumped on all the loose balls. They hit all the big buckets.
They played excellent defense. They played better defense than we thought they would throughout the series. But Boston pulls close. And when Michael Cooper was injured in this collision with Kevin McHale, the Lakers looked to be in big trouble.
Well, I had banged knees with Kevin. I didn't know how serious it was. I came in and got checked by the doctors. They said I could play. I wasn't going to play. They were going to have to carry me out of here.
You couldn't keep any of the Lakers out. James Worthy puts the Lakers up by 7. Kareem with the slam, and it's 86-78. The Celtics were on the ropes.
When we made a shot, they never beat us down for easy shots. That was the key. They didn't get any easy baskets.
The long frustration of losing to the Celtics was over. It was champagne time. The Lakers had won here in Boston, 111-100.
This is one of the toughest series. Last year, this year, both tough. You don't like to be in these type of series because you never get a rest or you never get to enjoy yourself. But now, you get to lay back and party, party, party.
What's the summer going to be like for you?
Ooh-wee. Sweet.
Feels fabulous. Feels fabulous. This is my 2nd ring, and I love it. I love it.
What's the feeling of being world champion?
Best feeling I ever had in my life. It's unreal.
I won a championship in Washington in '78, and it was very, very exciting. It may be more exciting than this, but there's no doubt this is more fulfilling. We just had so much energy. We were just determined. I'm out of breath right now. That's the only word I can describe. But we didn't really play our game the first half. We played enough just to hang in there, but we had to hit the boards the second half. We had to run them.
They knew that somewhere along the way that there's going to come a time that you have to plant your feet, you got to stand firm and make a point. And you do that by kicking butt, and we did. We took that parquet floor and we put it where the sun doesn't shine.
Lakers got up on them at the beginning. I don't think the crowd was ever really a factor for them today. I just think the Lakers got up on the crowd. They got up on Boston. They stayed right there all the way through.
Pat Riley said they just kicked butt.
Yeah, they did.
This is my business, and we won it, and that makes me happier than any man in the world.
Nothing like winning.
There's nothing like winning.
Kurt, do you think you've gotten some respect now as a pro basketball player around the league?
I doubt it, but what the heck.
Have fun. Everybody in L.A. have a good time. The Magic Man said that.
So here at the Garden, the Lakers win Game 6 in the NBA Championship, 111-100. Joining us now, NBA All-Star Kiki Vandeweghe. We've heard from the players, the coaches. What was the difference as far as you're concerned?
As far as I'm concerned, it's just all on the Lakers. The Lakers just played super basketball. If you're a sports fan, you have to be proud of the Lakers. I was proud of the Lakers. The Boston Celtics complimented the Lakers on the way they played. They were just a superior basketball team today.
All right, the Lakers talked about defense. Were they doing anything special on defense?
They were just hustling. They denied the outside shot. They closed off the middle. They did everything except pass out the popcorn on defense. It was just an amazing show of defensive superiority, causing the Celtics to shoot very poorly.
Kiki, thank you very much for your contribution to the NBA playoffs. Pleasure working with you. That's the story from here at the Boston Garden, where the Lakers are the champions of the world. We'll be back with more of our program. Ed Arnold takes over back in Los Angeles right after this.
Welcome to the Sports Machine. Tonight, through the use of the sports, the Lakers down the Celtics 111-100 to win the NBA championship. And after 8 previous title losses to Boston, the Lakers finally emerged victorious. Now, statistics oftentimes don't tell a story, but certainly they do at this one. You look at the Celtics, for example. Dennis Johnson, just 3 of 15. Danny Ainge, 3 of 16. All of which was reflected in the Celtics' 36% shooting average in the second half. By contrast, look at the Los Angeles Lakers. They hit on 54% of their shots in the second half. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was the series MVP, put on, I think, what has to be considered one of the most consistent, outstanding performances of his career. Let's go to the Boston Garden tonight, where the first half of the game, the Celtics in white, you knew they had troubles right off, when Dennis Johnson here finally makes his move. DJ can't get it to go. Larry Bird never misses a tip-in. He does from just 2 feet away. So now they're on the break. Rambis, the Byron Scott. Scott hits. The Lakers led by as much as 7 in the first half. Magic will turn, makes his move over Bird. It's an air ball. Parrish on a rebound. Ahead to Kevin McHale. What a game for Kevin McHale. 32 points. He would lead the Celtics. Now, Magic Johnson with a pass that is stolen here by McHale. Goodness knows the Celtics had opportunities, but they turn it right back over. This time, no mistake. The dish to Worthy. McHale complaining, couldn't believe it. It was 55-55, and then in the second half, Larry Bird, Cole from the outside. Rebound, Magic. He'll get it going up court. The Lakers did not run their patented fast break that often, but boy, did they play a great half-court game. Worthy with 28. Even in frustration, Larry Bird, an outstanding performance, 28 points. He drives and gets around 3 Lakers to get 2. Now, as the clock winds down, Kareem, the MVP, all alone, 29 points. The Lakers over the Celtics, 111-100. For the Lakers, it's celebration time. For the Celtics, dejection. And after 26 years, if you add them all up, it's 26 years of frustration in the NBA Finals that the Lakers have had against the Celtics. The Lakers sought and gained some badly needed retribution. Now, Scott Clark was at the game. And for his report, let's first go back to last year's title series at the Boston Garden. All right, Scott.
1 year ago, Game 6 between the Lakers and the Celtics. All-star Magic Johnson did not play up to his status. The Celtics went on to win the NBA crown. 1 year later, Magic did the job. The Lakers are champions again.
You see, if you come back and try to redeem yourself and do all that, then you get out your game. You try to do things to try to make everybody say, see? And no, you come in, you play the same game, you just don't make the same mistakes. That's all.
And 1 year later, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would lead his team to each and every victory in this series, a sweet finish for the most valuable player.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, when I'm retired, and that won't be too long from now, I can look back on this with a lot of satisfaction and know that we did everything, and we beat Boston in Boston. Nobody's ever done that, so I'm very proud of that.
Jabbar, Johnson, Worthy. The stars are shining bright for the Lakers in this NBA title series. But there were two lesser-known names who provided heart, soul, and spunk to this title team. The Scrappers, Kurt Rambis and Mitch Kupchak.
One guy is reputedly been born and bred in a sewer. You know, the other guy can't even walk, but they got hearts. You know, they attacked their hearts today.
They're the type of guys that the Lakers need. They came ready. I heard Mitch say today on the court, somebody was yelling at him for, he was playing a little bit rough. He said, hey, we're playing for a championship, and that's exactly the words I was thinking in my head. Hey, you got to be tough today because it's a do-die situation for us, and they're on the road, so they wanted to win today. They didn't want to come back for a seventh game.
The Lakers didn't need 7. 6 was the magic number, and the unofficial #1 Lakers fan, Jack Nicholson, was eating it up in the Garden.
Why are you the #1 fan for the Lakers?
Why am I the
What makes you the #1?
Because I live in L.A. and I got a lot of free time.
In Boston, for the Sports Machine, I'm Scott Clark.
Celtics Busters as we continue to watch the parade. We are live on Channel 9. I'm Scott St. James along with the rest of the gang out. 4th and Broadway. As you can see, the Statue of Liberty right there. And I can't... Well, that is a very, very pretty float there. I got to believe there's some Lakers on that float. If I had, I don't want to guess. I don't want to guess without knowing. But I know that's a Laker out there. I know that's a Laker on that float. Oh, you can September, October. That's when they start again. Can you believe that? You know, the Lakers won this championship series shot after shot. The only Laker who came to play was Magic Johnson, who wound up with 19 points. Celtic players were hot in game 1, shooting a sizzling 60% for the game, a mark that would wind up in the record books. Danny Ainge and Scott Wedman were scorching the cords in the opening half as the Celtics ran out to a 30-point halftime lead. In fact, the Lakers became so frustrated that Danny Ainge and Byron Scott had a few harsh words for each other. The Celtics didn't cool off in the second half as Kevin McHale exploded for 26 points. McHale shared game-high honors with reserve forward Scott Wedman, who hit all of his 11 attempts from the field, a new NBA record. The Celtics go on to bury L.A. by 34. That was indeed a day to forget, but the Lakers did not forget. As a matter of fact, they had a meeting. They had a meeting about pride. They had a meeting about toughness. And the guy who had a meeting with himself was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who kept hearing Tommy Heinsohn say, or heard about Tommy Heinsohn saying throughout the broadcast, that this man was playing like he was older than 38 years old. And he kept reminding everyone how Robert Parrish was beating him from one end of the floor to the other. Let's take a look at Game 2. Game 2 of the NBA Championship saw the Lakers rebound off their poor performance in the series opener, led by Captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Lakers controlled the offensive boards and were able to kick their high-powered fast break in a high gear. As in Game 1, the Lakers had a few problems controlling Celtic Kevin McHale, who dominated the inside game. Superstar Larry Bird, who never really got out of his shooting slump, got the Celtics close in the second half. A couple of key jumpers and a pair of nice passes to McHale, and Parrish brought the Celtics to within 4, but it was not to be in Game 2. The Laker cannons filled up the artillery and buried the key jumpers down the stretch. As the seconds ticked off the clock in Game 2, the Lakers found themselves in control of a 7-point lead, a lead that would not get away. Oh, you want us to look at the parade, all right? We're going. That was Burtka. That was Burtka waving the towel. Is that Amir? Is that Kareem's boy? Well, there, Pat Riley. There's Pat Riley. I believe that's that's Magic right there, and I believe to the left of the screen there is Byron Scott. I can't tell who that last fellow was. Along, the Lakers had heard how Eastern teams were tougher, stronger, and more aggressive. Many felt the Lakers didn't have the heart to win the series. The Lakers, however, had different ideas for the Celtics in Game 3. Kevin McHale. A problem for the Lakers in the first two games was subdued by the likes of Bob McAdoo and Michael Cooper. The Lakers were not going to be intimidated by those bullies from the East. The Lakers were hitting from all over the floor and were in complete control. In Game 3, it was the Celtics that were frustrated. Their frustrations reached a feverish pitch when Danny Ainge wrestled with Kurt Rambis for a loose ball on the floor. Rambis was also involved in an altercation with reserve Ray Williams, who tackled the Lakers forward out of bounds. When the pushing and shoving finally stopped, the Lakers put their game into cruise control as they rolled over the Celtics by 25 points. The Lakers led the series 2-1 and had high hopes of closing out the series in the friendly confines of the fabulous Forum. All right, we set the stage now. The Lakers up 2-1 and on a roll. They have, in fact, established the fact that, yes, they can play roughhouse with these boys from the East. And a lot of people have misinterpreted something that some people have said about heart. We're not talking about you got to beat somebody up with heart. The whole idea here was it's like on a playground. When somebody tries to move you out of your space, you got to stand up and say, hey, that's my space. And it's like Magic said. If Kevin McHale pushes me, I just push him. If you remember about what happened now just a little, let's take a look. The Celtics had other ideas in this Game 4. Down 2-1 in the series, Boston knew this game was a must-win situation. The Lakers rolled out of the blocks to take the lead at the half. Behind the play of Kareem and Magic, the Lakers rode the crest with an 8-point third-quarter lead. I thought the play of the game was late in the game with Kareem and Bird playing with 3 fouls apiece, but on this play, Kareem is called for a block and is assessed his 4th foul. From then on out, the momentum shifted to the favor of the Celtics. Boston picked apart the Lakers' defense time and time again. Dennis Johnson drove the paint countless times. That opened up the Celtics' outside shooting. Larry Bird played his best ball of the series. He led the Celtics back in the final 12 minutes. He pounded the boards and out-hustled the Lakers with time running out in the 4th quarter and the game tied at 103. Danny Ainge hit a critical outside jumper to put the Celtics up by a pair. The next time down the floor, the Lakers went to their captain for the sky hook. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't get his patented shot to go down, but Magic Johnson at the boards came up with it and hit a soft shot in the paint. The Celtics had the ball for the final shot when Larry Bird was covered with former Pepperdine star Dennis Johnson sinking the 22-foot jumper. As time ran out, the Celtics had come back to tie the series at 2. And as you can, there's your final right there, Game 4. That did tie the series at 2. Other flukish kind of play beat them in a Celtics game. Let's see. The Lakers played their last game in the Forum for 1984-85, and they delighted the home crowd to a real treat in Game 5 of the NBA Championship. The Lakers' fast break was at its peak, with Magic Johnson pushing the ball up the floor. The fans were treated with an array of bank shots and slam dunks. Although Kevin McHale continued to baffle the Lakers underneath, the story of this game was the play of forward James Worthy. He came out of his offensive shell to provide the Lakers all of the punch they would need, also providing spark for the Lakers was the hustle of Kurt Rambis, who dove into the crowd and started a Lakers fast break. Game 5 was also the game that K.C. Jones didn't see. After questioning a call in the second half, Jones was assessed 2 technicals and ended up sitting in the Celtics dressing room. The Celtics seemed to fire up a little after their coach was ejected, but the fire was put out by Worthy. Magic kept the ball in Worthy's hands. It was a good thing, too. Kurt Rambis came up with a brilliant steal down the stretch and fed Magic for a fast break lay-in as the Lakers took the lead in the series 3 games, 2-2, as we watched that fast break we were just describing right there. All right, again, for those of you just joining us, we are live on the steps of City Hall. As we are awaiting the arrival of the Lakers, you will see them right over my shoulder. Lakers up 3-2. Now, the Lakers had to go back to Boston, where so many terrible things had happened to the Lakers since 1959. As a matter of fact, Boston had never lost a championship series in Boston. The Lakers had never beaten Boston in a championship series. What a stage set. Let's see what happened. So, if the Lakers were to win their first NBA title from the Celtics, they had to do it on the parquet floor of the Boston Garden. With 15 championship banners hanging from the ceiling, the Lakers faced a team with lots of tradition, but tradition never surfaced in Game 6. Only the fact that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could still play the game at 38 years of age. Kareem had fire in his eyes as he dropped in his sky hook from every spot on the floor. The big fella finished with 29 and was voted the series' most valuable player. He went to the boards harder than ever before, grabbing rebounds and feeding teammates with crisp passes along the base. James Worthy was at the top of his game as he pumped in 28 points in 45 minutes of work. Magic Johnson.
Now, this is what they deserve the time now. Look at this love they're showing to us. It's amazing. Ah.
Chris, thank you very much for joining us.
Scott. Enjoy.
Okay, Chris Riley, ladies and gentlemen, and she's right. Look at all those towels that are being waved out there. I mean, and here are the Lakers. We get the shot right there. There's Dr. Buss and all of the Lakers. We can see right there as they come in. kissing the trophy right there is Bob McAdoo. You see all of them. They're standing. There's the trophy right there. And in the background, the music of the Celtics Busters.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to move along. We've got a wonderful program for you. You're going to enjoy it. And one thing I'm going to beg you now, we're getting people crushed down in front. Don't come forward anymore. Hold your ground. Please hold your ground. It is with a great deal of joy and pleasure I introduce to you one of the all-time world great pop singers for our national anthem, the one and only Jeffrey Osborne.
Oh, so can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombers singing air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday at this time, we were at the nation's capital. That was nice. But here's where we belong, right here with you. A fellow that works in the office of the Boston Celtics kind of spoiled our morning yesterday. I can't remember his name. It's Red something. But he said the best team didn't win. We were kind of mad about that, and then we thought, well, maybe he's lost his memory. He was thinking of last year. The best team didn't win. There's no doubt about the world champion status of these Los Angeles Lakers. While they are on their feet, and you will meet them later, but let me introduce them all to you. Let them all be introduced and then give them the round of applause. It'll save us a lot of time. In the back row, Jamal Wilkes. Next to him, James Worthy. Michael Cooper. Ron Lester. Magic Johnson. Mitch Kupchak. Chuck Nevitt. Head coach Pat Riley. President of the Lakers, Bill Sharman. Assistant coach David Wohl. Assistant coach Bill Burtka. Our trainer, Gary Vitti. Here he is, Kurt Rambis. And here's the guy with love we call the Rook, Byron Scott. Larry Sprague. The Geeter, Mike McGee. Robert McAdoo. And before my next introduction, my assistant, the guy that keeps me on my toes and does. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Riley called him, and who can refute it? The greatest basketball player that ever lived, MVP Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's going to be introduced later, but if I want to keep my job, I better do it twice. Dr. Jerry Buss. Now, if all of the fellows will take their seats.
Dream, can I?
Channel 2 presents us to themselves that they can beat the Boston Celtics to win the NBA championship. 8 times they tried, 8 times they failed. But on Sunday afternoon in that aging old hothouse called the Boston Garden, the quest was over. The dream was a reality. And to a man, the Lakers stood on that legendary parquet floor, looked up and laughed at the ghost in the rafters that had taunted them all these years. The end of the 1985 NBA championship series brought the victory to the Lakers. But at the beginning, the 25-year-old nightmare, it looked like it would continue. It was a Boston blowout from the start, and the Lakers' running game is missing on all 12 cylinders. At the other end of the court, it's Danny Ainge with a lay-in. Magic Johnson tries to keep the Lakers close. He feeds Byron Scott for the great slam dunk, then hits on the bank shot, and the Lakers are down by 12. It becomes clear in the early part of the second period that the Celtics are in command. Kareem has trouble getting back on defense, leading to easy buckets by Robert Parrish. And even when the Lakers are back on D, it doesn't make much difference, as the Celtics just can't miss. Scott Wedman comes off the bench to spearhead the attack, hitting 11 out of 11 from the field. Wedman's 3 straight three-pointers in the second period, just part of a Boston tidal wave that has the Lakers bewildered, and the Celtics are in the mood to celebrate, Boston leading by 30 points at halftime. In the third period, the Celtics don't cool off. Larry Bird from three-point country makes it look very easy. And the Lakers' defense is nowhere to be found, Bird getting loose on the backdoor play all afternoon long. By then, the frustration of the day begins to set in. Ainge tries to retaliate after an elbow by Scott, and Magic and Ainge get into it. The Celtics save their biggest blows for the game, Bird with a brilliant pass to Kevin McHale. And the Lakers know this one is out of reach. LA is left to stand and watch as the Celtics set championship records for most points in a half and a game, and even the #1 Laker fan gets caught up in Celtic fever. The Lakers lose the opener 148-114. The Lakers set the tone for the game right from the beginning, feeding Kareem and getting him into the flow of the offense. Los Angeles also crashes the boards. Kareem with 17 rebounds, keying the Laker fast break. Worthy from Magic for a vintage drive to the hoop. The Celtics seem a step slow while the Lakers put their best foot forward. It's Worthy with the animated rebound. The LA fast break 3-on-3. Nevertheless, Magic blows by Bird for the backhanded lay-in. Off the bench comes Michael Cooper to provide the extra spark needed from three-point country. The Lakers' defense, much improved over Game 1. Watch as they swarm over Bird off his miss. Magic runs his troops back the other way, whipping a beautiful pass to Mitch Kupchak, and the Lakers lead by 18 at halftime. Third quarter, and the Lakers spread the court on the Celtics, working the ball to Kareem, who slams it in the face of Kevin McHale. But by now, Bird has found his range, and the Celtics chip the Lakers' lead down to 12 points at the end of the third quarter. Bird pours in 20 second-half points as the Lakers' lead dwindles to just 4 points in the closing minutes. But in the final seconds, the Celtics collapse around Kareem. He dishes out to Cooper, who puts the finishing touches on the Laker victory, 109-102.
What an amazing turnaround for the Los Angeles Lakers. After 2 games, the best-of-7 series is all tied at 1 victory each. With us now is head coach Pat Riley. And Coach, you know, so many people are wondering, what in the world did you do to get your team turned around from losing by 34 points one day to winning by 7 2 days later?
You know, Jim, there's always something somewhere that will stimulate athletes to another level. We felt that we were very intense in our practices prior to the first game. We thought we had given the players all they needed as far as adjustments go and strategies for the first game at Boston Garden, but there was something missing. Maybe whatever it was came out because of that game, and it was an intensity factor second to none that I saw 5 games after that. I think the meeting the next day was an ultimate truth meeting, and I've had a coach tell me one time, and I'm not a docile man, okay, and on the court, a lot of people see me chewing gum and sitting like this and standing, but there's a time to show your insanity, and I did.
You made so many changes and adjustments throughout the course of the series, and particularly maybe after that first game, and there was one person for the Boston Celtics who really picked up on your coaching strategy, and he was really, really amazed at it.
Well, I think the great players...
I feel they got an excellent basketball coach. The strategy was very good. They made more adjustments throughout the playoffs than I've ever seen any coach make. One game I was able to get down low and double up. The next game he had me outside on a different side. It was just unbelievable the way he was coaching the team. I mean, he put a lot of hours in this playoffs.
Now, that's really saying something when the guy that's voted the best player in the league can pick up on what you're doing and knowing how well you can do it.
Well, I'm flattered by that, Jim. As I was trying to make a point, Larry Bird, like Irvin Johnson, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, has all of the adjustments made against them. So the great players always see different defenses. They see different.
It started off on a gentle note. Kareem skyhook floating through the net, and the Forum crowd loved it from the beginning. Meanwhile, Larry Bird kept trying to regain his form. Bob McAdoo and Kevin McHale exchanged in a big Mac attack over who really had possession. The Lakers' running game was in high gear all night. Dennis Johnson's shot is blocked, and Byron Scott takes it the other way for a slam. Meanwhile, Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook is as deadly as it's ever been. And when Scott Wedman is picked off, James Worthy provides the punctuation on a 136-111 Laker victory. Game 4 is a struggle with every basket a challenge. The Lakers go inside to Kurt Rambis, and the Lakers lead by 4 at the quarter. The Celtics come back in the second quarter behind Dennis Johnson, and at halftime, Boston leads by 1. Third quarter, the Celtics break out to a 5-point lead, beating the Lakers back down court. But only to see the Lakers reel off 10 unanswered points to retake the lead, and through 3 quarters, Los Angeles leads by 2. Fourth quarter, the Lakers are up by 7, but Boston runs off 8 straight points, paced by Larry Bird, who plays a one-man game in this stretch. He forces 2 turnovers and scores 6 points as Boston takes the lead. But neither team can take more than a 3-point lead over the last 8 minutes of the game. It's a constant seesaw battle, with Byron Scott's slam giving the Lakers a 1-point lead with less than 3 minutes to go. Under a minute to go in the game, it's tied now when Danny Ainge fires up this 20-footer, putting the Celtics up by 2. On the Lakers' next possession, Kareem can't hit on the skyhook, but Magic is there for the follow, and the game is tied at 105. But Boston has the last shot. They work the ball into Bird. He gives it off to Johnson, who buries the 20-footer at the buzzer, and the Celtics go wild as they win by 2.
Losing at the buzzer like that, Coach, sometimes for some teams can be really deflating, and other teams really just can't bounce back from stuff like that.
Well, we were a little bit debilitated by Dennis Johnson's shot. We felt we should have won game 4. We had a 7-point lead with about 8 minutes to go. We were ahead by 3 points inside 2 minutes, and we just did not hit our shots. We had great shots that didn't go down. Danny Ainge hit 2 shots inside of a minute from 25 feet, and then Dennis Johnson's 20-footer broke our back. But our team was still committed, Jim. They were not going to be deterred. It was 2-2, and we knew we had to go into Game 5 with the strongest attitude that we've ever had as a team.
But the game before that, 136 to 111, when you just, you know, a lot of people really said, well, the Lakers only play finesse kind of basketball. But you really did make a statement then, because that was really one of the first times that people took notice that you were finesse as well as a power basketball.
Well, I think it started after the massacre on Memorial Day. Our meeting and what we had talked about, we made a commitment in a contract that we were not going to get beat just playing Laker basketball. And I think if we went and approached the Celtics in Game 2 in Boston Garden without a physical presence, that we were going to be in trouble. That carried over to the home game in the Forum, and Kurt Rambis and Mitch Kupchak took care of the physical department inside. And there's always a theory about aggressiveness, is that if you're going to hit second, you're too late. And what we hit legally, but we were very aggressive up front.
And all of a sudden, the Celtics are complaining about the roughhouse stuff.
Deception, con, banners, the whole thing. A psych job. I was rather amused by this whole thing here, the rough, tough Boston Celtics all of a sudden talking about another team playing dirty. My comment was to the team, I said, just keep playing that way because we're playing Boston Celtic basketball anyway.
And it worked out just fine for you. So now, the best-of-7 series is all tied at 2 games each. Game 5 is coming up. If the Lakers lose, they have to go back to Boston and win 2 straight. So the Lakers knew they really had to win Game 5. And for them, this was it.
It was a united and charged-up Laker team that left the locker room just before game time. And once on the floor, the Lakers exploded, much like they did in Game 3, with James Worthy scoring 19 of his 33 points in the first half, and Los Angeles led by 13 at the intermission. Second half, and you have to wonder if the Celtics' K.C. Jones gets deliberately kicked out of the game in an effort to fire his Boston team up. If he did, it worked for a while, the Celtics reeling off 9 unanswered points, and it's a brand new ball game as Boston is right back in it, down now by 8. But the Lakers snap out of it, going on a 13-4 tear to up their lead to 17 points. But there's no quit in the Celtics. Larry Bird with a rebound, a great reverse lay-in, and the Lakers lead is a very nervous 4 points. But with under 3 minutes to go comes the Rambis steal, the magic lay-in, giving the Lakers some breathing room and a 10-point lead. Now Kareem caps off a magnificent 36-point night with one final slam. He scores 4 clutch baskets in the final 4 minutes, and the Lakers win Game 5, 120-111. In Game 6, the Lakers got it going with Kurt Rambis getting the outlet pass to Byron Scott, who banked it in for the first 2 points of the game. The Celtics came right back with Kevin McHale, and the tone was set for the entire first half as the 2 teams traded baskets. With time running out in the first period, McHale pulled the Celtics ahead by 1 point, only to see Michael Cooper's 3-point play give the Lakers a 2-point lead at the end of the period. Scott Wedman started the second period off with a long-range jumper, and it was tied once again. At the other end, Kareem takes the feed from Magic, and the Lakers take the lead. But the Celtics matched them basket for basket, and it was getting frustrating. Kareem's skyhook was on target, and the captain would not be denied. Larry Bird continued to try and kindle the fire. Both teams tried to control the tempo, but the score at halftime left both teams fit to be tied. In the third period, they picked up right where they left off. Kareem with the skyhook, McHale from the baseline, James Worthy from the top of the key. Then the Lakers surge began. Larry Bird takes it to the hoop and gets the three-point play. But Kareem comes right back, and the Lakers are up by 10. Miguel continues his hot shooting, and towards the end of the third period, the Lakers get a real scare when Michael Cooper was fouled by Kevin McHale. Cooper was carried off the floor, and the Lakers carried off a 9-point lead at the end of the third quarter. The fourth period got underway with a bang. Byron Scott and Scott Wedman colliding on the drive. Larry Bird's flashes of brilliance fanned Boston's hopes, but the Lakers were on a mission as they had a date with destiny. And with 5:22 left, McHale, who had a brilliant series for the Celtics, fouled out. And he'd have to watch the conclusion, unable to do anything about it. With McHale on the bench, the Lakers began to pull away. History had indeed been rewritten. The seconds on the clock ticked down to the inevitable as the Lakers were world champions. And perhaps no one savored the moment more than Laker captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And it was a fitting tribute that he was named the MVP of the series.
You know, Coach, there are times when you think you can win. There are times when you question if you can win or not. But you really had a good feeling about this particular game, about Game 60.
I had a good feeling about our team, Jim. I felt when we won Game 5 that our motivation was the next game was for the title. And I knew they wanted it so desperately that their whole focus was going back. The other thing was the trip, having to fly all day Saturday, play Sunday. We've been through that 3 other times in the finals. Boston had never been through that. We knew we could perform well under those travel conditions. I read a quote in the paper by Larry Bird the next day saying, boy, it's going to be tough for us to travel all day Saturday and get back there and play an afternoon game. I tried to use that as an advantage for our guys, and they felt very comfortable with those conditions. I just sensed that our guys were ready to play. I felt in the arena there wasn't the same electricity. I also felt that there weren't the peripheral distractions. I didn't see any of the officials that I didn't like to see in the big game. So I just felt things were going our way, but it was still up to the guys. You have those feelings, as you know, as a player and a coach, but I felt it was our day.
So now the championship is yours, and when the championship goes to a team, I'm telling you, it is really party time, and all the honors come in. And we'll be back to show you some of the honors and talk about some of the parties in just a moment. The Lakers have won 2 world championships. This is a big credit to you. You should be able to pat yourself on the back.
Well, I don't know if I can do it right now. I'll try, Jim, but I am just happy as anything.
Yes.
And I think right now all we want to do as a team is to be able to savor the fruits of victory. I mean, what comes with 8 months of hard work and sacrifice by our team are the residual rewards. Obviously, the money, the recognition, those are all nice things, but the sweet savoring, basking in the glory for a whole summer, especially what happened after last year. So that's where I'm heading.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations, world champions.
Yes.
Let's do it again next year.
Sounds good.
That's it.
World champ.
That's our program for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. So long, everybody.